Okay, we're recording. Yay! Okay, very good evening, everybody. Can you believe the end of August, bank holiday weekend? And today's date is Monday the 27th. So we're really super honored because our gorgeous guest speaker, Claire Edwards, has been so kind because she trained last Monday and on a bank holiday Monday. I mean, who does that? She's offered so kindly to come back on and share with us all her incredible experiences and knowledge and wisdom on Instagram. And as an entrepreneur, you know, she's built up such an incredible business so fast, really. And the slideshows and the way she made it, well, definitely me, who I'm a tech phobe, really get to grips with Instagram. Was wonderful. So, and I will say, I did, like, get your pen and paper, okay? Because I did notes. These are all my notes, Claire, from you. I'm like writing. I was like drawing pictures of the, you know, when you said about the thirds, posting a picture of a cat, like you had, you know, your hedge, and I was loving it. So if you are listening tonight and you haven't heard part one of Claire, she's not going to repeat that all, but you need to go back and listen to the recording. We posted that on the groups. So make sure you listen to that part one, and Claire's going to take us on to part two of her incredible training. So I'm going to go and mute myself, and I'm going to pass it over to you. Thank you so much, Claire.
Okay, great. I'm just going to try get to share my screen, which was a fun last time. Okay, and then I needed to okay, I think I am sharing my screen. Okay, there's a thumbs up. Alrighty, I got that. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to my little slideshow presentation. I did try get this over onto, because I did it on my iPad because I had all my stuff logged on my cloud and stuff. But obviously, when you try convert from iPad, Apple to good old standard Windows, it has a little freak out. I tried to do this today, but it didn't work. So we're going to try carry on with this on my iPad. Okay, so we finished off by talking about how to build your tribe within 15 minutes each day. And we were on actually regramming. So I was just talking about regramming. I'll play my little videos while I'm kind of talking. So I use that app called Repost. It's free. You can see, obviously you do have to credit who you are going to be sharing. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I've got all if my notifications keep popping up because I get instant notifications at the top there. But anyway, so this is me just using Repost, where you basically copy the link and it's open us up in the app, and then you repost and it puts that little watermark on the picture. So you're giving credit to the person. And I like it. So they can also, when it does that with that little postage there at the bottom, like watermark at the bottom left, you can change it whether top, right, left, right, white or black, whatever. I like it because then also like that, because then my audience knows I'm reposting other people's content and it's not mine. It's using that little watermark as a clear indication of that. And it just also gives credit to the people straight off. And I, to be honest, have not been using this for very long. I was very hesitant. I used to think people were a bit protective about having their content shared, and but I've only probably started reposting about maybe probably only like say about a month and a half, 2 months ago, is actually sharing my followers' content. And my followers actually do like to see it, because then people now actually start tagging me in their pictures and make pictures of their products in the hope of being featured on my Instagram. So it's a plus for them anyway. I would just double check if it's like a blocked account, then maybe you don't want to be sharing it. But like if it's a bit private, if it's got like their family in it, I probably wouldn't want to be doing it, that kind of thing. But with its kind of pets and my products, it's kind of okay. So this is me just kind of doing my little spaces to space it out. Then there's that little blog blurb there where it's copied and saying this is a repost, and it's copied the user's content. So I've left everything there of what the user has put in. And then I go and I add my own extra hashtags, using up all 30 hashtags that I'm allowed to use because that's 30 chances to be used. This I'm going to talk about just now. It's called Later. This is my favorite friend. I'm actually just copying my hashtags across. Later, I'll probably actually spend quite a bit of time talking about later as an Instagram scheduler. And I have pretty much all my planning done in there. And it's for free. And you can pay for higher versions, but it's for free and it saved my life. I knew about it for quite a while, but actually I'm just diverging. I'll go back and sing their praises in a couple more minutes. Obviously I was having fun doing all of this and it's taken quite a while to finish my post. But I suppose you can see the main part's already done. It's like when you're reposting, you obviously have to credit the person, and I use a repost app, so it makes my life easier. It also just makes all my sharing content standard because it will all look the same. It'll all have their blurb of hashtag repost, crediting, and it copies across everything. So I just continue. It's very basic, and I just use it that way. You can, and things like this will start this way, and maybe in 6 months' time, I might be regramming differently. But you start, you learn, you evolve, you move on. So that's kind of the regramming kind of side of thing. Because I've got my Facebook account linked, you can see there I switched on the Facebook. So I don't post everything I post on Instagram to Facebook. I actually choose what I want to. I don't want to, because I have people following both accounts, I don't want that to spam them on both kind of sides. So there I'm just going back and checking how it all looks. I think, now I swap over to my personal account, excuse the rubbish that I post there, and I'm checking as a viewer what that content looks like. So you can see there is what the user would see, kind of just checking what it is. Just always go back and check, because so many times I post and I've dropped this and dropped that, like spelling mistakes, and I quickly go and check it. So there I was just having a quick look at that. And I think, then I go over to Facebook and check that, but that's not so important. But just one thing is, yeah, you can, when obviously you link, you're posting on Instagram, you can post that exact same content as long as it's one single photo or one single video. If it's multiple photos, like 3 or 4, it won't post it to Facebook. Facebook has a bit of a freak out. That might change in the future. So I don't post, like I said, I don't post everything I post on Instagram to Facebook, only a few bits. So that's regramming. So moving on, so the next kind of section is Instagram stories. I'm going to play my little video. Sorry guys, I got a bit OTT on the videos. So stories is fairly new. It's been around a couple months. In this story, I did a vote. I put a vote out for new fabrics I wanted to add to my collection because people have been asking for stuff. One of my most popular fabrics got discontinued. So I set out a vote. And here you can see I put a vote out. I could see how many people voted yes, how many people voted no, who voted yes, who voted no, and how much engagement I got from it. So at the moment, because not everyone is using stories, they actually get a lot more traction. In stories only last for 24 hours. So you don't have to post perfect content. You can post your right here, right now, I don't have time to do a filter stuff there. And stuff that you want to share with people but might not fit in with your aesthetic, like we talked about on the first session, your whole aesthetic on your main page, which stays there all the time, you post it in here. So yeah, sorry. Now I can see who doesn't like them. It's good. It's feedback. You got to take it on board. In Instagram stories, you can use GIFs, you can use tags. So there's location, city. So if you add like a live event, for example, I'm going to be at the Birmingham NEC at the beginning of November. If anyone's from Birmingham, come say hi, at the National Pet Show. So what I'll be doing on my stories is I'll be logging in and saying, tagging in NEC Birmingham and Birmingham area, because people who follow those cities and those stories will then, there's like obviously like a collage for that location of everyone that's tagged it. So I would then kind of appear in that collage, and hopefully they'll see me and decide to come see my stand. If you are tagged in someone else's story, you can actually repost it to your story. So it's kind of like sharing back onto your story. So if someone's posted that they're doing the 30-day challenge and they've got a picture of their green drink there, then they tag you in their story, you can share it to your story and say, oh my gosh, look how great Susie's doing. She's on day 28, 2 more to do, you know, go Susie. And you can share her content there. Also, once you do stories, you can create highlights. So if you look at that screen there quickly, you can see, this is obviously what I'm seeing as the user account. So you can see there's a white highlight plus button. So that's to create a new highlight. But I've got a highlight there for Bob Bobs, which is my hedgehog, and there's one for Hog Care. So basically those are like just little buttons where people can just go and click and look and just see. So Bob Bobs, there's just pictures of him. Hog Care, I'm starting to just like post some content about, because I get a lot of questions about hedgehog care and for people who are new to them. So what they need, what food they can eat, blah, blah, blah. I'm kind of trying to build that slowly. The next one was what events I'm going to be at. So I've got the 2 fairs that I've got coming up, etc., etc. So those are quick. There's one I'm going to work on adding is like, who is the hogger? So it's obviously me, the hedgehogs, how did I start kind of thing. So you can, it's just, it's quick, it's visual, and people look to go through it. So it's kind of like highlighting points that you want to highlight to people. So it's a highlight so you can see what you're about. Going still onto stories. So let's have a look. What did I do in this one? I think this is, I'm creating a story, obviously conveniently hiding my camera at that point because I was looking a bit horrid. This is me creating one of my stories. I'm busy going in there. I'm going to use all the GIFs. There's a sticker for Ask Me a Question. So people can, you can, for 24 hours, let your audience ask you questions, and then they'll reply. And then it's up to you to make that public or just reply privately to them. So I tried it. I've never tried it before. I tried it once. I didn't get one question. Oh, well, that's fine. But in Instagram, there are in the gift section these stickers. So your hashtags, your locations, those kind of question stickers, the poll that I used on the previous one. So now, before I go just going back to that poll one, that material that I'm buying is really expensive. I now know which one I'm going to get and not kind of fail. So I've got a good indication from there. This is how I'm doing a little hashtag there, and I always hide mine up in the top corner. It's just something I do. It's not anything Instagram says I should do, but I try to keep my picture or my stories a bit clear of all these hashtags and too much stuff. So you can see it's kind of gray and in the top corner, but I get a lot of traction from featuring on that hashtag. So I would have popped up on that hashtag story. I kind of go through stages of using stories where I kind of forget about it, but every time I do use it and I use a sticker hashtag and hide it there, I get a lot of traction, and generally new followers tend to find me as well. So for example, I have stories I would use for it's bath day and there's chaos going on and the hedgehogs are doing something cute or whatever. Or if I've got lots of orders and I'm busy crazy and I've got all this cutting going on, lots of sewing, and like if I did one, I think last week, where I launched a new range. So instead of cluttering my main feed with this range, which was a new fabric, which I've got 8 products in. I just did one post going, hey, check my new range. And then I said, look at my stories. So my call to action was go look at my stories to see all the products. And then in my stories, I put all 8 products so they could just flip through and see quickly. And then those images I will then repeat in my main feed as the weeks go by. But I'm not posting 8 photos today and clogging that feed just with that. It's just overkill for them. I love stories. It's actually really cool. So the next thing is IGTV, so which is Instagram TV. I'm not a pro on this. It's really new. It probably only came out probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, or a month ago. Basically, it's being hailed as the new YouTube on Instagram. It's vertical videos only, and you can video content up to 10 minutes long at the moment. I do believe that that will be lifted eventually, but probably only for influencers, which is above 10K followers. So not so much now. So followers will see your content that you post, and it's more like a channel. So when you log on to Instagram, a little pop-up comes up from the right top going, the Hog House has posted a new video. And then you kind of just go watch to see what's happening. There's no search, so you can't search the videos. It's who you follow. It's just like longer content coming to you. And the content doesn't have to be fancy. I really liked this lady, Holly Tucker. Holly Tucker is one very clever lady, is one of the founders of Not on the High Street. And she has started a company called Holly & Co. out in Twickenham, and which is great because she's championing small businesses and creative businesses. And she's got a really great IGTV video where it's just her standing outside the shop by the table and the parasol, and it's all summery, and she walks in and she tells you about the shop and the cafe and all of that. But it's all literally just filmed on an iPhone, and it's natural, and but you can just see what they're about. So yeah, sorry, I can't actually remember if it's on hers, Holly Tucker, or if it's on her business, Holly & Co. But have a look. I've only posted one, which was a video of Bob-Bombs, but I haven't had, just to see how the process was and to set up my channel. But I will probably be posting more as I go along. But apparently this is still early days, but it is going to be big content growing in the future. So it's not going to be like a channel where you can go watch a 30-minute sitcom. It's informational, and I suppose like kind of like a visual podcast in that sense. So like it's your YouTube. So that kind of content will be put up there. The next thing is actually oh, sorry, I didn't even make my screen bigger. I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize it. Oh, I don't know if this is okay. Hold on. No, go away. Okay, this is a new feature that actually got rolled out a week or 2 ago. So it's great, actually. Basically, it's like a QR code, a quick reference code for Instagram, which is actually going to be really great when you're networking. So if you meet someone and you're talking, and they're like, hey, what's your Instagram? You actually just open this up and you scan it, and then they automatically start following you. So they don't have to remember, oh, what's your name and all of that. Obviously, since I took this screenshot, Instagram made a little change. And if you look on the left photo, next to the Hog House, you see the little kind of square with the square button in it. That's actually now, it was there, it's now been hidden in the very right, the 3 little dots, the more section. So you kind of go into that section to get yours, and you can customize your background. Obviously I chose the hedgehog emoji, fancy that. And what I'll also be doing is when I reprint, I don't know about my business cards, but definitely my comp slips that go with all my packages and at my exhibition, I am going to be printing this off, this quick reference QR code, and getting people to sign up. So like what I'm thinking of doing is then having that little screen printed off with the Hog House on, And any customers that come to the stand, I'm going to say, hey, if you follow me on Instagram, I'll enter you into a competition and you could win something. And I'm going to grow my customers by that. And all they have to do is just scan the code and follow me. And that's it. Super easy. But I thought this would be great for networking, because then you pull it out, you pull up your code, the person opens up and scans it. Sorry, I'm just taking a bit. So I don't know. Actually, let me go to, sorry. Where is Instagram on here? Oh, there she is. I'm just going to go into the Instagram and show you, because when I took the screen grab 2 weeks ago, or a week or so ago, it has obviously changed since then. Oh, hello, upside down. Okay, I'm on my iPad, so I'm just going to turn that around. Okay, so if I go to my screen here, and then up here in the top right, there's the lines, there's your name tag, second one down. So under insights, there's name tag. Click on that and my one pops up. So I would open that and get the person I'm meeting to scan it with their phone. What they would need to do is follow the exact same steps, and obviously they would see theirs. And look at the bottom, it says scan name tag, and then they would click that, and then they would pick up the My Hog House one there. So that's where they would scan it from, and that's where would you go to get yours, so name tag. And if you want to customize it, so up at the top it says emoji. Oh, hell no. There's selfie, you could put a selfie, or you could just leave it in color. But I tend to stick with emoji, and then you can change it by just tapping on the background, and you can choose any emoji you want. So I don't know, you could put a salad or an emoji face or a house or something, depending on how you feel. So I like to leave it on the emoji one. So I'm going to go back to a presentation. Oh. What? Can you hear me? Can you see my screen? Okay. Technical. Reboot.
Yeah, so you've come off screen share, Claire, and then we can see your video, and then you did come back on.
Okay. And can you see my screen now? No.
No, right now I can just see you again.
Okay, let's try again. Start pro. Can you see my screen now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Sorry. So did I get to kind of the end of how to get to share your name code?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. All right. That was the end of that. Okay. Let's go have a look. What's next? Yeah, so I thought that would be really great if you had a networking event or at some function, or meet someone in there like in a rush and they just want to quickly scan copy. Oh, this is my Instagram. So I think that'll be huge helpful. I think the screen's just loading. Oh, come on.
Claire, while it's loading, can I just ask you, there's been a couple of questions in the group chat. Can I ask you?
Yes. Sorry, I don't see that.
Perfect. First one, so Claire Slane in our team has asked, would you use a hashtag in every story?
Yes, you get seen more.
Okay, thank you. And also, how do you customize the QR code?
Oh, sorry, I'm just putting on my speaker. She actually answered that with the scanning thing. So don't worry about that.
Yeah. That's okay. All right, thanks, Amy. Fiona. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're all good. Everyone said, and Claire said, thank you, Claire. Claire and Claire.
Yeah, but just with the hashtag and the stories, I've started using them in all of my stories because I get so much more traction. I mean, I think the one time I hit like 700 views. It was so ridiculous, and I almost fell off my chair. So that's why I do it the way I do it, where I tap it, because I think it comes up with the rainbow color one, and then there's like a pinky one, and then there's like that opaque gray one, and then I make it smaller, and then I hide it up at the top. So it's out of view. It's not within that like thirds ratio. But my pictures and stories will come up under that hashtag then. And also it's just less for the audience to see and concentrate and read. So I kind of do mine and hide it that way, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's have a look. Next. Okay. I love free stuff. Free. I'm using it. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm using. Basically, all of these things that I use are free. There are paid for plans if you want to unlock the next level or more features or whatever. At this point, I'm just using the free stuff. So a couple of these things you'll be familiar with. So one is layout. So layout is an accessory or add-on to kind of Instagram app, which you can then make like a collage. So if you want to like have 3 pictures like featured in one Instagram picture or 4, it will kind of, you can like collage them together. You can put lines in between or not. So I use that for layout. Boomerang makes quirky videos, so depending what kind you like, kind of trying to, it's all to do with movement, what you want to try to portray. Like I use it for quirky, fun, stupid hedgehog things, and I get a lot of views using that. Another great one that I found a while ago is one called Canva, an app called Canva. If we have time, I can go and show you guys them. Basically, that one I use to do not so much photo editing, but creating posters. So if I want a nice solid border around and then a picture, or if I use it a lot for my store, my Etsy shop. But when I want, it's like, I don't know, National Hedgehog Day or National Guinea Pig Day, I would make a poster in Canva. You can also make like if you want to make like a poster for your Instagram stories, you can also do that in Canva. There is free stuff and there's paid for stuff, so it's very clear as to what you're paying and what you're not paying for. There's templates, etc., and then you just save it and you carry on. Snapseed is more photo editing. I've played with it a little bit. I don't use it that often, to be honest, but if you're looking for something that you want to edit photos with, that's a great tool. Later is my new BFF. So Later Media, I started following a very long time ago, and I subscribed to their mailing list, and they send all these super juicy Instagram tips. Later is one of the programs or affiliates of Instagram. They are not owned by Instagram, but Instagram actually recognizes them as a legit company. So Later is one of the very first people to find out anything new about Instagram, and they get their content out fast and to you. And it's free. So like I subscribed to their newsletters and that for months before I actually started using their free platform. And basically it's a scheduler. So I'll go into that now. Then the Repost app we already touched on at the beginning. So it's reposting your content, and Linktree. So in Instagram, in your account, you only have space to put one link, which is a bummer because you've got links for everything. So what Linktree does is create you that one link to many other links. So this is my link here. So I have my Etsy shop. I've got a small other shop on another platform that's just opened up in the UK called New Monday. I've got my Facebook, I've got my Pinterest, and there's the rescue that I support. So whenever, because what a lot of people do is they post a picture and they go, to buy this beautiful trousers, click the link in my profile. And then they put that link there, but they only leave it there as long as that post is, until the next post comes along. So then it just gets deleted and the next thing comes along. So if someone finds that profile and it's, that post is for those trousers are 3 months old, that link's come and gone already. It's irrelevant. So this I like, it's free, Linktree. There is a paid for where you get available analytics and stuff, but I'm not at that stage. So this is what I use. And basically, if I'm posting, see my new products, click my link to go to my Etsy shop, then they can see my Etsy shop, my Facebook, my Pinterest, they can go and find everything. Also, if you're trying to build your mailing list, you can add that in here. I've taken mine down because I have technical issues at the moment. But the one thing I suppose I'll spend time on quickly is talking about is later. So later, as I said, is a scheduler. So this is my later. Later, you can post to Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. So basically, you get 30 posts free in 1 month, and I only use it for Instagram. So what I've done is, so this is your media tab. So I've preloaded a bunch of photos and I've got all my content photos there. And as soon as I want to load something, I've got a little library going, I can schedule a post. So then I go, this is my scheduler. So I can see I've got a post lined up for tomorrow, the 28th. Then a post for the tomorrow or today? Tomorrow. And then the 29th, 30th, 31st, 1st. Okay, so you can see I'm pretty good up until the 4th. So I only post to Instagram once a day, maybe twice in the blue moon. I don't post any more than that. There's no point in bombarding people. So this is what I've kind of done. So tomorrow's post is just a fun post. I launched this set, oh gosh, it's not scrolling down, last week. So now I'm following it up with another post. So I'm just putting a fun little post there going, "Oh, you lied, there's no worms hidden in here," and then there's Bob's face. But it will schedule it for you. You can choose whether you want later to post it automatically for you, or if you want to post it, you want to approve it first. So then the next day I've got a fair coming up on the 29th of September. So I'm just reminding everyone that there's only 1 month to go, and it's the 3rd time I'm going to be there. I'll be there, Bob's will be there, and they must come by and say hello. So this is how I set out mine. I do like 5 or 6 little dots, and then I put all my hashtags, and then that's the photo. So what I'll do is maybe go do a fake post. So, oh gosh, now I'm going to think, pressure. Let's choose, I don't know, this cave. Okay, so now I've clicked on this photo. Bottom says I want to create, the blue button, I want to create a post. I'm going to post it to Instagram. And I always go to crop just to check. Okay, I only post in squares. So on the left here, these are all your ratios, and I only post in squares. So that's my ratio. And then I just move it up and down just to make sure how I like it. Okay, done. Fine. So there we go. So now I'm going to make a post, and I'm going to say, these are camping caves are proving popular this week. I don't know. This isn't a real post, but you know what I mean. Okay. So then I do usually about 5 dots. And because I've done my hashtag research, I know what hashtags I want to be using. So if you just look here, if you look directly where my cursor is, just look down, you'll see the crop sign, and you'll see there's like a page with hashtags. I'm going to click on that, tap on that, and now it's opening up my captions, my saved hashtags. And now I've bunched mine up because of all the different things I post. So I've got sewing hashtags, I've got handmade, got features, so that's for hashtags to be featured by certain people on Instagram, generic animals, products, small business, Halloween obviously is coming up, so I'm putting a lot of Halloween stuff out there. The marketplaces, so Etsy marketplaces, hedgehog and guinea pig. So this item is more for guinea pigs. So on the bottom, there's all my guinea pig hashtags, and on the right, there's a blue one called add, and I'm just going to add it all. So you don't have to be copying and pasting and doing anything. I've added that. If you look at the bottom, you can see just the blue next button. To the right of that, you can see your word count. And to the right of that, you can see 19 hashtags. So that's only used 19 hashtags. So now I'm going to go put some more in. So I'm going to go put, so then I go back and I'm going to go back to my little library of these, and I'm going to go use, where's handmade? At the top, handmade. Okay, now you can see I've gone up to 32, so I'm 2 hashtags over. So make sure you're under 30. So I'm just going to take a couple off. And what I usually do is I kind of add on, I'd actually like pull up like 3 of my captions. So I'll use guinea pig, handmade, and I'll use my marketplace, my Etsy ones. And then I'll just randomly delete hashtags to get down to my 30. Because remember I said, if Instagram, if you're constantly using the same ones over and over again, Instagram sees you as spam. So that way I'm always picking and choosing from what I want. Okay. So now I'm done. Now I can either use the auto publishers on. I can either tell Instagram later that yes, post automatically to Instagram, or I can turn it off. And basically I'll just get a push notification to my phone saying you've got a post that needs to be posted. I then have to log into later to actually go through the steps of posting it. So it's up to you. So I'm going to put that on. I'm going to pick a time, and then I'm going to choose a date and a time. So whatever. And I'm going to set time. And now you'll see it now comes into my feed. Oh, there we go, on the 7th. I couldn't remember what date I said. So that's my post there. And there's like, there it says September 7th, 17:45. And there's a little lightning bolt. That means it'll automatically post. And that's that. Now what you can also do is if you just look at the top here, you can see just above my first picture, there's a little arrow where you can go see what I've posted. So you can go see previous posts. And then just above that, there's preview. So now I can actually look what my Instagram feed is going to be like. Sorry, I've already planned all the way to Christmas in some aspects. So here you can see it's all shaded. This has been posted. And this is what is to be posted. So you can see whether the colors are going or if they're not really working. I mean, I'm kind of playing around with my feed still. I do a lot of my photos on my gray background, but I like the yellow as well and the blue. So I'm kind of playing around, but I don't want too much of the yellow, else it just looks a bit too sunny. So you can see how we go. So yeah, so that's kind of a feed. You can also do this from a computer, which is actually might be a bit easier to type out, and if you're quick typing rather with your fingers than your thumbs. But yeah, this is my lifesaver. And like I schedule stuff so that I know this week I need to be talking about this, etc., etc. So again, it's free. You can post up to 30 posts. It's great. Let's see. Okay, it's probably just going to bring that up. Okay, so hints and tricks. So use your saved tab. So when you're looking at a picture on Instagram, you can see, I'm just going to go on Instagram on my phone. You can see under the picture to the right, there's like a little bookmark, which means saved. So I've recently probably only started using this in the past couple months, past 2 months. But what I've done is you can make collaborations, because I was just saving stuff. Because what I was really bad at doing is seeing something, going, oh, I must go look at that, and screenshotting it. But then it just gets buried in my photos and I forget to go back. So I use it as this little bookmark save section. And you can actually create collections. So what I've done is I've created collections of, oh, I need to research this. So I'll save that picture and go, oh, I need to look into that. Or when a customer tags me in their product and I'm like, oh, that's a great photo, I want to repost it, but I'm not ready to repost it right now. So what I'll do is I'll save it to come back to my collection, so I can have a little just collection, a library of things that I want to repost. Generally, I'll try repost a customer's picture within a couple, say like a week or two. Probably wouldn't repost a photo they posted about a month or so ago. That just is a bit poor form with a product-based business like that. And then also like stuff I want to research or ideas, if I'm like I'm stalking other events and like how people are doing up their stands. So I'm like, oh, that's great, I want to save that idea. Also, when I find accounts that I want to be following, or not that I want to be following, I want to be attracting their followers. So for example, I touched on, for me, I want to find breeders of the hedgehogs or guinea pigs or something like that. So I know people following them have these animals. So then I will save them to my follow tab. So I need to basically, when I do my 15 minutes of engagement at night, I will go pick one and I'll go find their followers and go look at their followers and like their followers' Instagrams. And then hopefully they come give me a like and a follow. Another trick is stockpile your content. So create a picture library. Take lots of pictures. The next time you get all dressed up and you got your lippy on, take a couple pictures. Get someone to take pictures of you, different poses or whatever. Because when you do have to do a post about, oh, this is me, there's no freak out going, oh, I don't know what to do. And often you see people like who are influencers who have done a photo shoot. Blatantly, it's the same day. They're wearing the same stuff. It's the same location, but they're all just in different aspects, sitting on a sofa, sitting on the balcony, looking over the balcony. But they use it throughout their profile. Nobody cares. It's fine. It's okay to use real pictures. It's fine to use your pictures because people need reinforcement. And remember, if you use, okay, it's not great to use the same picture within the same week, but within like a month or so, when people start to follow you, they're not going to go look all the way back to what you used 1-2 months ago. They're going to look at, and if you're posting constantly, that's 30 pictures ago. Also, your new users might not have seen those pictures, so it's fine to reuse your pictures. It's okay. Use the 20% rule. So 80% value. So I do a lot of like Bob's my hedgehog, his character, and silly, you can see I did silly little things just to lighten the mood. I don't want to push these people. I only do kind of the sale posts. I kind of limit myself to 1, maybe 2 a week. Is if I'm running out of something and it's the last time they can buy, or if I'm launching a new range and it's out there, or last time chance to buy, example for Halloween items, for example, Christmas items. The rest, not so much. The Instagram algorithm, as mystical as it is, responds to users using all aspects of Instagram. And I am only really starting to see this now. So I've been, before February of this year, I was very reactive. I put one Instagram post out a week. Blah. And ever since, the 1st of March, and I've been going, crazy and posting constantly and using all the different aspects, am I starting to get recognized? Like right now, I'm starting to see that, because previously I thought like only my followers saw me. Wasn't attracting new followers. Now I'm starting to see the new followers are starting to find me, and I'm appearing in those home screens where everyone's just scrolling past. So I am getting the feed, and then people are clicking on and looking at me. So definitely use all aspects. So that's your main feed, so your main Instagram grid, your stories, your live. To be honest, I have not done a live video. I am going to do one when I'm at the pet fair. Maybe one before. I've got a little something in the pipeline. I might do one before. I don't know if I'll do it live because I'm a bit of a sweary mouth. So I could just envisage something going there, but definitely at the pet fair, I'm going to be using that. Instagram TV and your highlights. So definitely use all these elements that they're giving us, and then you will gain traction. Most importantly, post constantly. Post. Like the one thing is, when I'm looking to get new customers and I'm going and looking and following and creating, engaging with them online, I'm not following them. I'm just going and looking at their pictures and giving them a like, because you don't want to just follow everyone to get a follow back. You just engage with them. And if I come to a profile and their last post was in January, they're not engaging. They're not going to be online for me, because you're now spending time online every day. They're not. So you're probably going to be a bit time wasted on that. So generally, if they've not posted in the past few days, probably not worth it. The other trick you can do is you can get post notifications for someone that you want to get the attention of. So for example, you've now found some influencer or someone that's something that you're interested in, and you want to maybe do a collaboration, maybe not right now because you're not ready, but maybe 3 months down the line. So what you kind of do is go onto their accounts, obviously follow them. And then if you look at the top right-hand corner, you've got the 3 little dots, the more section. And then if you scroll down, there's a tab second from the bottom, which says turn on post notifications. So what that does is, as soon as they post something, you just get a notification going, hey, Susie B posted something. Quickly, get it, log on, like it, or comment. As soon as she starts to see you liking and commenting, she's becoming aware of you, and you're on the radar. So when 3 months down the line, you are ready to talk to her and say, hey, would you like to do a collaboration? I love what you do. She's already aware of you. So, and it's always great to be one of the first people to post or comment, because anyone else coming to comment will see you have commented, and actually you might get likes out of that. Another trick, which I get caught out very regularly on, is check your DMs. For example, in that little picture there on the right, in very small blue writing, it says other in brackets 1. Basically, someone who isn't following me has decided to message me. So because they're not following me, it doesn't fall automatically into my inbox. It's to filter out spammers. So I have to then click on that other to see whether it's people spamming or if it's a legitimate person. I have been caught out many a time, only seeing this a few days later, one time a month later. Horrendous, I know. So always just double check your DMs, especially after you've been posting, because that, is something that can come up and get caught out on. And that is kind of the end of my presentation. I don't know if you want me to go back and go through anything, or you have any questions or anything else?
That was great, Claire. Just so informative. I'm going to have to watch your trainings last week and this week, probably about 10 times each, so I can just absorb it and go through it and get myself, was it May when you started really doing this?
1st of March.
March. Oh my God, you've come such a long way. Amazing. There was a question, Amy. Do you want to mute yourself? Because you did have a question earlier on as well.
Yeah. I just wanted to, a bit confused about the highlights for the stories. So is a highlight like a subject? Like if you've got your sort of like advice on how to take care of hogs and maybe, so it's just like a subject. So you would click on a highlight, and if, like, for example, if I was doing one on a certain skincare range, let's say, then anytime I'd post a story on that range, I would add it to that highlight?
Correct, yes.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's like, so now you want to start putting something about skincare as your highlight. You would post it in your stories, and then you go and choose which ones, because you're going to maybe post today about skincare and then on your stories, and then tomorrow you're going to post about eating, and the next day you're going to post about your weekend trip, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
only going to post about another skincare thing maybe a week later in your stories, then you can then go back and link that in to that.
That's because I was chatting to other Claire about it the other day, weren't we, Claire? And she was highlighting everything. So obviously because we were chatting about it, because I said I haven't used stories yet, and Claire's really on it with stories. But so I don't know, other Claire, maybe you could can you sort of edit the highlights? Or obviously stories go, don't they? So those stories that you would have put in those highlights wouldn't be there 2 days later, is that right?
Yeah, so the stories disappear after 24 hours, but the highlights will stay there all the time. Exactly. So basically you're taking your best snippets of your stories and saving them as highlights.
Okay.
So for example, so I'm going to go to my one here quickly. And so basically, let's go to Bob's. And then, okay, this is him. So I'm just going to go more at the bottom. And I want to edit my highlights. And then, so these are all the ones that I've saved of him.
Okay.
And now I go next to highlighted at the top. There's a gray one called archive. I've clicked on that. And now I'm looking at all my previous stories that I've posted. Now I just kind of want to maybe choose one of him, and I want to add that one to, and that one to, and maybe that one to, it's a little video, to my highlights. Then I'm going to click done. And now so I'm just going to tap through. So these are all the highlights on it. I see now, you can see at the top, I've got so many.
Okay, yeah.
So now maybe I could go start deleting a few because it's quite a bit. And I'm coming to the end ones. So he's running. Okay, so these are the ones I just added. So these are the ones that I've now kind of added to my highlight.
Okay, so, cool. And thank you.
You can go and edit it. Sorry, guys. So you can kind of go and edit your highlights, and then now I've got too many, maybe I want to be taking some off, so maybe I take that one off, etc., etc. Take that one off because maybe there's too many. Click done.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
cool. We have 3 minutes till it's 9 p.m. and again, Claire, huge thank you from all of us. Everybody's comments, you're amazing. And to volunteer to do this because to help us, if there's anything we can do for you, then please let us know, because we are so humbled by taking so much time in your slideshow and really going through it in real detail. From my heart, thank you so much, Claire. It means the world.
No, thanks very much. And just if you kind of just, this is basically all that I've learned. And again, I'm not an Instagram guru, and also I take things with a pinch of salt. There's other programs, they say you should do this and should do that. I'm like, yeah, but that's not for me. I don't want to be doing those kind of things. But everything starts small, and it'll just grow and grow and grow. Like, I didn't think I'll be hitting 1,000 followers this year. Actually, I'm probably going to hit it in the next month or so. But yeah, just keep at it, and it'll just grow slowly. Like, just remember when Coca-Cola started, they only used to sell 19 bottles a day. Now how many do they sell? It just takes time in their first year. Yeah. So if you do have any questions, you give me a DM. I'll be happy to help or try.
Could you share the slideshow? Sorry to interrupt. Could you send that to me, or to, if you have direct contact with Fiona, or send it to me, and then I can send it to Fiona, and then she can sort of disperse it among everyone.
But you can only watch it on an Apple device, because I was battling to get it over to a Windows device. So, but yeah, that's fine. I'll send it over. So yeah.
Super. Thank you, Claire. We're going to love you and leave you. I'm going to put some beautiful products in the post for you from us guys and Arbonne to enjoy. So look forward to receiving a bunch of goodies from us as a massive thank you and a card. And hope you enjoy, and lovely to meet you. And I've just loved fellow South Africans, I feel like I'm not in this bloody country anymore. I'm back home where I belong. So loving the South African accent, I'm like, oh, I could just listen to you forever. Like, but thank you so much. We are so blessed, and have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you for taking time out for us. Much appreciated. Namaste. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
And good luck.